All right, guys. So today we're gonna look at how to finish a triangle, and specifically for people that don't necessarily have like the optimal limb length. I've never had great legs for triangles. I hated triangles. I hate getting out of triangles. I hated trying to get triangles. I wasn't any good at getting them closed until I got some of these tips. So we're gonna start by just looking at just a basic triangle, right? The basic triangle, we lock in, and we have like a trap triangle, diamond lock, however you wanna call this position. When I get here, there are a couple things I need to think of immediately. Number one, this arm doesn't matter as much as you think. Unless his arm is captured all the way back behind, I can finish most of my triangles, no matter if his arm is here, right? If you start putting a lot of down pressure, that might be a little bit different. But in general, when this arm gets trapped, a lot of people spend their time trying to lift their hips and pull this across. The problem is that as soon as I lift my hips, what happens? I lose control of his posture. We get put in those positions. The other major problem that comes here is that people will start stacking you, right? You're right in front of them, they start putting pressure, yeah. This becomes very uncomfortable. So the moment that I lock into that trap triangle, the first thing I wanna do is capture the back of his head, okay? I don't want it down by the neck. If I grab by the neck, if he looks up, he can posture up. When I grab the top of his head and I bring my elbow down, when he tries to posture, I have very, very good control. Second thing, the offhand, right? So the same side that the arm is trapped in, that's the one that wants to grab the head. Now this other one, I need an underhook. And whether I go to a full scoop grip, if I can get to it, that's great. Most of the time I find that that's really difficult. So I'm just gonna take this shallow underhook, I'm gonna grab right underneath his armpit. And we're in a good position. So a lot of times you see people step on the hip. The problem with when you step on the hip is that when Sean turns that way, no, just put your head out that way, no, that way, yep. We lose this, right? So I don't really want to lose that pressure. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to keep this, and it's going to feel counterintuitive. I'm going to open my legs, and I'm just going to keep my knees tight. So now when Sean tries to move around, it's actually really, really difficult. Now, the key to making this lock up is going to come from the position of my knee in relation to his shoulder. I'm gonna bring my knee in front of his shoulder, and I'm gonna connect the inside of my knee up against his temple here. This is gonna put me in a good position. Again, you think that you can get out. Sean, when you try to escape, it's really difficult. I'm gonna kick off of this shoulder, and I'm gonna bring either my lower back or my upper back off the ground. I just can't be flat. So if he's driving into me, that's gonna bring my lower back off the ground and make it easy. If he sits back, I'm gonna have to bring my upper back off the ground. But I'm gonna take my inside of my knee and I'm gonna kick, and that's gonna turn me so that we're 90 degrees. And now, you're gonna think, oh, I just locked the triangle. No, if you take a look at where my knee is, it's not horrible, but I want my knee in line with his ear. The more that my knee is up here, the more I create a connection to the side of his neck. His carotid artery is not on the side of his neck. What I want is this knee to be like so, and you'll notice that my hamstring now connects really tightly to the side of his neck, and we get a really, really good connection to the carotid artery here, okay? So when we lock and we catch here, my knees are open. I'm gonna use my outside knee. I'm gonna push his head so it goes off balance, and I turn. So now my knee is up. The sole of my foot faces the ceiling, right? When I lock, so we'll loosen up a little bit so we can go through this. When we lock, a lot of times you'll see people lock the triangle like this, like a 90-degree angle. I want to think of it like sniper sights. I want to put my knees on the same line. And now, sorry man, when I squeeze down, we get an immediate choke, right? The theory of it is this. When his head is in the circle, this is the area that I need to collapse. If my knees are turned at 90 degrees, you see there's a certain size of the circle, and when I close it, it does decrease, but there's still room. If we come from here and I put my knees in a line, that circle becomes much smaller to start. And now when I squeeze down, there's no room, and you're going to get an immediate tap from them. So that is my best tips for finishing the triangle. Shout out to Christos over at Kingsway. He was the one that showed me that fundamentally changed the way that I do triangles. There's some of that works no matter which triangle you hit, but for a front triangle, it's gonna get you off to the side so he can't stack you. It's gonna give you good control and you're gonna get a tap every time. So hope that helps, guys. See you on the next one.